This is Probable 1701, and we're going to do a review today of the Apprentice LE V4. Now, this was a saber I won in the latest Autumn Raffle. I've never had one of these before. It is the Sentinel's little brother. And I have had two of the Sentinel hilts, although even though they're decent hilts, I did end up selling both of them just because they're very similar to the Prophecy, and the Prophecy is just a better hilt. So I sold both my Sentinels, and I ended up getting an Apprentice, which is what I call a baby Sentinel. I wasn't overly thrilled about it. I was kind of hoping for a premium hilt, but then again, it was a free saber, so I can't really complain. Yes, I can. I was kind of hoping for, I don't know, something better. But again, they did send me one that I didn't have and that I had never had, so that's pretty cool. It's a stunt saber. It was a third place prize. It does have the lithium ion setup, which you can get to just by unscrewing the pommel right here, and the battery pack just slides right out. And you can take the batteries out, they're lithium ion batteries, put them in the charger, charge it, slip them back in the pack, slide it back in there, screw the pommel back in, you're good to go. It came with a 36-inch Ultra Edge blade, which immediately I don't like just because I don't like a 36-inch blade. I prefer a 32-inch blade. I wish I had thought to send them a message about that, see if they'd give me a 32-inch, but they gave me a 36-inch. Now, I don't like a 36-inch anyway just because it's too long. You'd be amazed. The extra 4 inches, 4 inches can make a lot of difference, and that came out wrong. The added length of the 4 inches to the blade can really change the balance point. And so I've always preferred a 32-inch blade on mine. My general rule is if you're over 6 feet, you get a 36-inch blade. If you're under 6 feet, you get a 32-inch blade. But they sent me a 36-inch blade, so I have an oversized blade on an undersized hilt, because this is a very tiny saber. And that is a bad combination. So it's really hard. Anytime I practice with this thing, it's very uncomfortable. It's comfortable to hold. It's very small, but I guess it's comfortable to hold, but it's not fun to use just because the blade's too long, the hilt's too short. Now, I could put a 32-inch blade on it and practice with it, see if I like that better. I haven't done that yet because #laziness. And yeah, that pretty much sums up my thoughts on this saber. I'm really having a hard time motivating myself to review this. Enough to the point where I've honestly just been too lazy with the busy week I've had to put a 32-inch blade in here and try it. It has the standard switch, which I hate. I don't like it. It looks cheap, and it completely takes away the look of the saber. The only exception to this is on my Dominix. I actually do like it on my all-black Dominix V3. It doesn't bother me, but on any other saber, it looks out of place. It takes away from the saber, its overall look and aesthetic, and I don't care for it. The emitter's nice. I will admit I do like the LE version of this better than like an all-black version. My Sentinels were all black, and I do think the silver accents do make the hilt pop more. So I think if you're going to get this saber or the Sentinel, I would suggest getting the LE version. It does give it a little more life, I like to think. Anyway, I got it in the Consular Green, which Consular Green never shows up really well on camera. It looks more like a Sunrider's Destiny, maybe. Not even that, but it's actually a lot greener than this. Looks more like a mint green on camera. It's actually a very green. Even the... Hang on a sec. Let me flip off this other light. Nope. Still not showing up right. It's not... Even the light shining off right here doesn't really indicate... Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and flip it back on. Even the light... shining off of it's not a very good indicator of what it looks like. I promise, though, in real life it doesn't look like this. It looks a lot better. This mint green on camera looks bad, but it looks a lot better in person. And normally I prefer a mid-grade blade, but I will admit I like the fact they sent me an Ultra Edge with this one just because Consular Green is one of the two colors that I prefer in the Ultra Edge. The other is Sunrider's Destiny. Both the Sunrider's Destiny and Consular Green I think look better in Ultra Edge than they do in mid-grade. Whereas in all the other colors I think look better in mid-grade. But I like Consular Green. It's a cool color. It's not my favorite, but it's a cool color. This saber is really too small though. I don't recommend a Dark Apprentice for adults. I think it's a small hilt. I'm a small guy. I'm maybe 130, and I'm 5'6", and I'm very small. If anybody y'all have seen my videos, you know I'm not a large guy, and this thing's too small for me. I think if you're gonna get something like this, just go ahead and get the Dark Sentinel instead. This one's big brother. If you're grown, I think the Apprentice is a good saber for kids, but I don't think it's a good one for adults. That's another reason I was disappointed with this as a prize. Just to do some comparisons, this is the Initiate, which was my first saber. I got it just to kind of get into saber collecting, and this one is also, I guess, more of a children's saber. But when I bought mine, I added the Catalyst pommel. Like normally the Initiate's pommel, it ends about right here, so this is actually a very small saber as well. But since I added the Catalyst pommel, it gave it a little more length, and that actually works really well. That's actually a very comfortable saber to use. So if you are going to get the Apprentice, I would suggest getting like a Dark Catalyst pommel for it to give it a little more length. And then here's a Dominic's. That's a Dominic's V3. This one also has the standard switch, but I think it looks really good on this all black hilt. This is the only saber I've ever had where I actually liked a standard switch. And then of course this is here it is next to their Prophecy hilt. You can see how it stacks up. Now I know they don't look like there's a lot of difference in length, but I guarantee you this one's a million times more comfortable to hold. So it doesn't really enthuse me, but I do again like the silver accents. They really do a lot to make the saber pop. And let me hand this off to my cameraman real quick, and I'll do a couple last thoughts. Again, you can see there's just enough room for me to really get my hands around it and get some kind of grip on it, because I do dual two-handed, single saber two-handed. And again, this is a 36-inch blade where most of mine use a 32-inch blade, and that really throws the balance off. It just feels weird as I'm moving it. It's not comfortable. It's too blade heavy. So I really need to put a 32-inch blade on it at some point. But the hilt itself is just too small. I suggest if you're an adult and you're getting it, you get a different pommel, like a Dark Catalyst pommel, or just go ahead and buy a Dark Sentinel instead. It's not that much more. This does make a good offhand saber. If you're one of those people that duels with two hands, this would be a good offhand saber. You know, like maybe a 24-inch blade on it, if you want to use it like that, because it's great for one hand. If you can use it with one hand, I'm sure it's fine. I can't do that. I'm too small. I'm a tiny guy. So my thoughts on this saber are, for me, that's really my thoughts on it. I don't really care for it, but it was free. I can't really complain. But since this is a review, I'm giving my honest thoughts on it, because I like Ultrasabers, but I'm not just going to sit here and go, hey, they gave me a free saber, it's wonderful. I'm not impressed. They did at least adhere to the things they know I normally like. They know I like smaller hilts. They sent me a very small hilt. They know that I prefer Consular Green and an Ultra Edge. I got a Consular Green and an Ultra Edge. And they sent me a saber that I'd never gotten before. So I'll give them props for that. But overall, it's not one that impresses me in the sense of what I would use it for. Because again, I duel with a two-handed grip with one saber. And I can't really comfortably do that. It's a little too small. I could get a Dark Catalyst pommel on it, and it would probably work okay with a 32-inch blade. But as is, not overly impressed with it. I think this hilt is better for kids. And then I think for adults, you should just go ahead and get a Dark Sentinel. It's in Consular Green. I'll give you one quick look at it with the lithium setup. Just a standard LED. lithium setup within a single LED. That's really about it. I'm tired. This is the third review I've done today. Plus, I had to work this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off here. I just want to give you my thoughts on it. I do appreciate Ultrasabers sending me it. It's always nice to see your name on the winners list when you win in a raffle. But I will admit, it's not a saber, a hilt I'm just really overly fond of. But this is the Dark Apprentice LE V4. I'm Pro 1701. Thanks for watching.